Mr. McLeod,
Contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court taken into custody.
Really? That's it.
This hearing is absolute chaos from start to finish. Mr. McLeod is facing charges for assaulting a police officer, but instead of cooperating, he tries to argue that the court has no authority over him. He pulls the classic sovereign citizen card, interrupting constantly, yelling over the judge, and throwing around fake legal terms like they actually mean something. But the judge shuts him down every single time. As the hearing goes on, things get more and more heated. It quickly turns into a mix of frustration and disbelief, because this guy is unbelievably confident in what he's saying, even though none of it makes any sense. And in the end, the judge has no choice but to have him taken into custody for the night. Watching him go from completely confident to being shut down and dismantled by the legal system, it's honestly something else. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's dive right in.
Do you understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand that.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having an attorney?
Yeah, I'm here by special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law, before I accept that waiver, to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand.
Now, I want you to really pay attention to how calm this judge is. Despite all the interruptions and constant nonsense, he genuinely tries to give Mr. McLeod a fair chance to speak. And honestly, it's almost impressive just how much patience this judge shows throughout the hearing. Meanwhile, Mr. McLeod keeps pretending like he doesn't understand even the most basic legal concepts, which just makes the situation even more frustrating to watch. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? Do you think he's actually confused, or is he just putting on an act to avoid taking responsibility? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
Well, okay. Well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained to you?
No.
Hold on. I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on. Well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things, or I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand?
The nature and cause of the action against me because there's no established jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now. Well, I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod. I promise you that. Okay. Can we just go one step at a time? So do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine?
Well, I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General jurisdiction.
The people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962. They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963. Article 6 establishes the judicial power. And the circuit court is a court under that judicial power of Article 6 of the state constitution. And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So, Mr. McLeod, you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
One second.
I can see why his attorney withdrew. Oh, shit.
Hang on, someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh,
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend, to observe. They've participated. I'm removing them from the hearing.
Honestly, she's not wrong at all. That moment felt completely raw and unfiltered, and you can't help but laugh. I mean, seriously, how did the judge not laugh right there? But when you really think about it, how does something like that even happen in a courtroom? Maybe she was just an older lady who got caught up in the moment. Or maybe it was just the sheer absurdity of the situation. Either way, it perfectly captured what everyone in the room was already thinking about this guy. And if we're being real, it's not surprising at all that his attorney decided to withdraw. Mr. McLeod is just sitting there, flipping through a stack of papers, trying to find some made-up legal argument that's magically going to get him off the hook. It honestly looks like he believes he's about to pull off the legal equivalent of a rabbit out of a hat. Meanwhile, the judge, the prosecutor, and probably everyone else in that courtroom already knows exactly how this is going to end. But Mr. McLeod just keeps going, acting like he's cracked the code of the legal system, when in reality, he's only digging himself deeper and deeper into a hole. You really have to wonder, what do sovereign citizens actually think is going to happen? Do they really believe the judge is suddenly going to stop everything and say, you know what? You're right. Case dismissed. It's honestly like watching someone try to win a game they don't even understand. And by the end of it, that little comment from the prosecutor just feels like the perfect finishing touch. Because let's be honest, you'd probably be thinking the exact same thing in her position. What's even crazier is how committed these sovereign citizens are to their arguments. Just like Mr. McLeod, sitting there, shuffling papers and quoting laws that don't even exist. It's frustrating, but at the same time, you can't look away. Anyway, let's dive back in.
Mr. McLeod, do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face?
1 second. Okay, so when enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I challenged subject matter jurisdiction. Nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
doesn't
jurisdiction.
exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted. So, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't understand what's going on. I have to establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves. I'm required to establish, do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod,
the
stop.
court can be.
Stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you have a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
So judges who become involved in enforcement of
Mr.
these
McLeod,
statutes.
I have other matters. Mr. McLeod,
agency. What's that?
you know, I understand you want to object to things and you're going to be allowed to object to things. Okay.
Sure.
But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
I don't wish to be held in contempt. I just wish to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying it enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
you don't comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face.
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong and you can appeal.
There's no such thing as a statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple for you. Do you ever watch, let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt and the court officer will bring you to a jail cell and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So,
Mr. McLeod, Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court taken into custody.
Really? That's it. Protecting my rights is very simple.
Fucking Joe.
This isn't true. You guys are
Follow
following
unconstitutional
You're following
orders.
unlawful orders. It's not
Not a
constitutional
good
at all.
thing.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt. He's sentenced to 1 day. Mr. McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is about
notice.
the Constitution. I did nothing wrong except to question excessive exercise.
Honestly, this guy is just making a complete fool of himself. Watching him try to play lawyer when he clearly has no idea what he's doing is honestly embarrassing. I mean, I don't understand why he didn't just get an attorney. It's not only common sense, it's literally his right. Under the Sixth Amendment, he has the right to legal counsel, and if he couldn't afford one, the court would provide one for him. But instead, he's sitting there flipping through papers, throwing out arguments that hold absolutely no weight in a real courtroom. And you can actually see that the judge tried to give him a fair chance at the beginning, being patient, speaking calmly and explaining things step by step. But even the most patient judge has limits. Eventually, they have no choice but to shut it down. What really stands out is just how confident he is while being completely wrong. He acts like he's about to crack some hidden legal code, when in reality, the law here is very simple. Most of the time, all he needs to do is answer basic questions. Yes or no. And let's not forget, he's facing a serious charge, assaulting a police officer. That's not something minor. It can be classified as a felony, and he could be looking at real prison time. Instead of focusing on his defense, negotiating a plea, or actually addressing the charges, he's just wasting time, his own and the court's. And in the process, he's only making things worse for himself. The judge even points out that none of his arguments actually apply, but it's like he's in his own world, convinced he's making progress. And while it might be entertaining to watch, there's also a sad side to it. Situations like this often come from a misunderstanding of how the legal system actually works. These kinds of arguments have been rejected by courts for decades, yet people still rely on them, thinking they'll somehow win. But the reality is, that approach only leads to more serious consequences. A conviction like this could mean losing important rights and facing significant jail time. At the end of the day, he's not helping himself. He's just digging a deeper hole. That's going to wrap it up for this breakdown. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think he actually believes what he's saying, or is he just putting on an act? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.